have you ever really been home? Not the walls where you sleep. I mean, have you ever felt that silence where the constant "what if" and "I should" simply vanish? Most people haven't. Not really. They've had moments. I have. Once. Maybe twice. There is a place I know. A planet with 2 distant suns and a sky of eternal crystal night. The stars there have weight. They are presences, not just lights. I was standing on a semicircular balcony. My hands were on the edge, but I didn't need to feel the stone to know I was there. There was something in the air, not a smell exactly, a quality. Summer night, open sky, alive, but not as information, as a state. I wasn't waiting for a thought to fix me. I wasn't waiting for anything at all. No names, no past, no me. Just I am. If your chest aches right now, or maybe nothing moves at all, and that's fine too, it's not because of my words. It might be because you recognize the air. Maybe you aren't learning this. Maybe you are remembering something you forgot you knew. On Earth, every sensation is navigation. You collect data to survive, to move, to solve. But there, sensation stops being information and becomes pure presence. That's what home feels like. Don't take my word for it. Use yourself as the experiment. And then you return. Body, room, the familiar weight of everything. And before you even decide to be awake, the machine is already running. It's like a radio left on in another room. A loop of, I have to do this. Why did I say that? What if this doesn't work? A voice that was never invited, but somehow moved in permanently. You've been told your entire life that those voices are you, that your identity is the sum of your worries, your plans, your wounds, your reactions. But here's what nobody said out loud. If you can hear the noise, you are not the noise. If you can watch the thought spiraling, something in you is standing outside the spiral, which means there are 2 things happening at once: the experience and something that is aware of the experience. Now stay with that, really stay with it, because if you can observe the anxiety, you are not entirely the anxiety. If you can watch the thought, something in you exists outside the thought. And if that's true, then everything you've called yourself, the personality, the wounds, the patterns you've spent years trying to fix, all of it has been observed by something that is not any of those things. You've been trying to reorganize the furniture while the house was standing there the whole time. Science has been trying to locate that second thing for decades, not metaphorically, literally. The best neuroscientists on the planet mapped every neuron, tracked every chemical event in the brain, built instruments of extraordinary precision, and they found everything: the mechanisms of memory, the architecture of emotion, the neural signature of every thought you've ever had. Except one thing: they cannot find the one who is aware of all of it. There's a name for this: the hard problem of consciousness. Not hard as in difficult. Hard as in the kind of problem that destroys the framework you're using to solve it. Because every instrument you build to locate awareness requires awareness to operate. You cannot step outside the thing you're trying to examine. The eye cannot catch itself seeing. Not because it's hiding, because it is the seeing itself. And this is where it gets genuinely unsettling. If the most advanced science in human history cannot find the witness, then the story you were handed about who you are is not just incomplete, it is missing the most important part. You were given an identity assembled from thoughts, reactions, memories, other people's expectations, wounds that calcified into personality. And in all of that, nobody mentioned the one who was watching it happen. The contemplative traditions knew this, not as philosophy, as direct observation. Centuries of people in completely different parts of the world with no contact between them, asking one question. Not what am I thinking, but who is aware that I am thinking? And what they found, they described differently, named differently, built entire cosmologies around. But the core observation was always identical. There is something that is always present, something that is never the content of experience, only the experiencing itself, pure awareness before it becomes awareness of something. They weren't inventing this, they were finding something that was already there to be found. The same coordinate reached independently from completely different directions. That's not religion, that's cartography. Now here's the part that the entire system has an interest in keeping you away from. A person who has found the witness is ungovernable, not rebellious, not angry, not resistant, ungovernable in a much more fundamental way. Because the leverage is gone. Fear works on you when you are identified with the story. The threat of losing something only lands when you believe you are the thing that can lose it. Shame requires an identity that can be shamed. Every mechanism of control, social, political, psychological, operates through the gap between who you are and who you're told you should be. The witness has no such gap. When you can observe the fear without becoming it, fear loses its grip. When you can watch the shame arise without fusing with it, shame cannot move you. When the story becomes something you can see rather than something you are, the story loses its power to keep you small. And a human being who cannot be moved by fear, cannot be sold an identity, cannot be kept in place by the threat of social exclusion, that human being is a problem for every system built on managing human behavior. This isn't conspiracy, it's just incentive. The incentive to never teach you this is enormous, and it has been working for a very long time. There is a cost to finding this, and it would be dishonest not to say it. This state is silent, and it carries a loneliness that is unlike any other loneliness, because there is no one to share it with who hasn't been there. There is no audience for it, no validation available. The suffering you leave behind had a strange comfort to it. It was yours, it was familiar, it confirmed you existed. The witness offers none of that. Your ego will find it unbearable at first, not painful, boring. There is nothing to fix here, nothing to perform, nothing to win. Most people return to the noise voluntarily. The pain of being someone feels safer than the vastness of being no one. The cage is uncomfortable, but it has walls. And walls, after long enough, start to feel like home. This is not dissociation. Dissociation is the body abandoned, consciousness fleeing because the pain exceeded what the system could hold. In dissociation, you go numb, you go elsewhere, you lose the body entirely. It is an anesthetic. It is the nervous system choosing absence over presence. The witness is the exact opposite. It is the most violent, most awake form of presence possible. In this state, you feel the knot in the stomach more clearly than ever, the heat of anger, the cold of fear, the specific texture of grief, everything amplified, nothing numbed. But you don't call it mine. You observe it as data, a physical event in the biological machine. You feel the electricity, but you are not the electricity. You are the space in which the flash happens. Distance without absence. Presence without identification. Now your nervous system is going to do something predictable when you try this. The moment you stop solving, stop navigating, stop running, something biological activates. A tightness, a manufactured urgency, a voice that says something is wrong. You should be doing something. Your nervous system was built for predators that no longer exist. It is calibrated to threat. And to a system calibrated to threat, stillness reads as death. If you are not solving a problem, the machine registers offline, malfunction, abort. So it manufactures threats from nothing. It generates noise to confirm it is still alive. It needs the loop. Because without the loop, what is it? This is why the moment you try to find the witness, the body protests. It will send panic. It will send boredom so heavy it feels like dying. It will manufacture the most urgent problem you've thought about in weeks, right in the middle of the silence. Let it. That protest is the machine realizing it is being observed rather than obeyed. And an observed machine is no longer in control. Wherever you are right now, stop. Not a meditation, an audit. What is actually happening? Not the story about it, not the meaning of it. Just what? A sound, a tension, a thought. Name it simply to yourself. Who is noticing this? Don't reach for a word. Look for the one who was there before the thought started. The one who hasn't moved through any of this. Does anything actually need to happen right now? Stay with that last one. That gap you just felt, between the experience and the noticing of the experience. That is not a technique. That is not something you learned just now. That is something you just remembered. And once you felt it, really felt it, not as concept, but as direct experience, you cannot unfeel it. You can ignore it. You can go back to the noise. You can spend years pretending the tenant owns the furniture. But somewhere underneath everything, you will always know. Everything in your life has changed. Every 7 years, every cell in your body is replaced. Your beliefs have shifted. Your people have come and gone. The version of you from 10 years ago is unrecognizable, but the one who was watching hasn't aged a day. It was there when you were 5 years old, silent, unchanged, before you had a name, before anyone told you who you were supposed to be. The tenant is a ghost. The witness is the owner. If the witness has been watching your entire life without being touched by any of it, then who exactly has been suffering all this time?